Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the casino and sports betting industries. This week in our state and national reports, we're continuing our journey through February and March numbers. Deals, we've got an NIL deal to talk about. We've got a TV deal, a fantasy sports deal, and also a car rental deal.
A car rental deal.
Yes.
Is that the first car rental deal we've had on the show?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Industry updates, licenses, launches, and what's becoming a commonplace event, cease and desist letters.
Oh, okay.
Legislative roundup, New Hampshire, New York, and Illinois.
All right.
We'll be right back to start talking our state and national reports after this.
The average cost of mesothelioma treatment can exceed $400,000. Families often face losing their homes or life savings just to pay the bills. If you or a loved one worked in these industries and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation to protect your family. At Rights and Claims, we've helped families recover over $1 billion to cover medical costs, lost wages, and more. Let us help you secure their future with the compensation you deserve. Call 800-596-4889.
The IRS has collected over $1 billion in past due taxes this year, and they're aggressively targeting more taxpayers. Don't wait until the IRS comes knocking. Our team is here to help you resolve your tax debts before things escalate. Every tax situation is unique, and so is our approach. We tailor solutions to fit your specific needs, giving you the personalized attention you deserve. The IRS has resumed collection enforcement. Don't wait until it's too late. Our team can help you resolve your tax issues before liens, levies, or passport restrictions kick in. Behind on filing taxes? We specialize in getting you back on track by filing past returns and negotiating with the IRS. Does the IRS claim that you owe money that you don't have? We fight to lower your tax debt to an amount that you can afford. United Tax Fix. Expert help, personalized service, and the peace of mind you deserve.
Call 800-852-6985. That's 800-852-6985.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our state and national reports in the month of February with a bunch of reports. We've got Nevada reporting their February sports betting numbers. And with February's report, the total handle, this is post-PASPA.
Okay, this is after 2018, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
$47 billion in total handle all time.
And God knows what it is beforehand.
Yes.
I'm sure people have the number, but I haven't seen it yet. So
I'm sure the number's available somewhere.
What's the number all time? When I say all time, I mean when they first started taking sports bets.
Yes.
And that was well before 2018. So that number has to be astronomical.
And all-time tax revenue, $185 million.
Okay.
State's mobile industry all-time has passed $25 billion already. Mm-hmm. And football wagering reported its highest amount since February of 2020.
Well, February was the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So.
Moving over to the state of Ohio, we've got their February report. Ohio recorded its 12th month with at least $75 million in adjusted gaming revenue. FanDuel set a state record for revenue. And this is the first time so far this year, and it's not much, it's 2 months, no online operator finished February in the red after two failed to make money in January.
Okay.
Better and Prime Sports were the two that did not make money in January.
Honestly, Better and Prime, I haven't heard too much from them lately. I hope they're doing okay, but I have to take a look. Better is BETR, right?
Right,
okay.
The American one, not the Australian one.
See, that's what confuses me, too. So,
moving over to the Commonwealth of Virginia, we've got their February sports betting report. Virginia became the 8th state to pass $250 million in tax revenue. State also reported its 6th consecutive month with at least $500 million in total handle, 2nd consecutive month with at least $60 million in adjusted gaming revenue.
That's a good month.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
we're still in February, right?
It was the end of their 3-month streak of $700 million handles.
Yeah,
and of the 14 mobile
operators,
they had a
good run.
Yes. And of the 14 mobile operators and 3 casinos, 10 operators reported net positive adjusted gaming revenue for the month.
That's important.
Moving over to the state of Colorado, and with Colorado, we have an additional entry with regards to the sports betting, and that's table tennis, and we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, Colorado loves their table tennis.
We've got their February sports betting report for the state of Colorado, the 18th state to pass $100 million in state tax revenue. State also passed $23 billion in all-time handle. 5 consecutive months of $500 million handles ended with February, which was below.
We're getting a lot of reports on tax revenue lately. I mean, more than usual. It seems like a lot of states are throwing that tax revenue out. So that's the important figure for the states.
Well, the tax revenues are just hitting certain plateaus at the same time.
Absolutely.
But here we have Colorado and their table tennis industry. Once again, table tennis in Colorado, 5th most bet on sport. That was the same way last month.
I was going to say, it usually hovers around the 5th most bet on sport for a month, but sometimes it reaches 4th. Probably not in March. Yeah, March, April, you might see that jump up to the 4th most bet on sport in the state.
Well, $26.96 million handle. Mm-hmm. All of it was bet online except for about $6,600. Okay. 5.4% of the total handle. That percentage of the total handle keeps creeping up month after month.
Yeah. I have to check on that sport in other states because it seems just Colorado and Oregon really stress the
and Vermont.
Well, Vermont is started to.
Virginia, I think, is.
I'm just getting aware of the Vermont sports numbers in table tennis, and I can't believe we're talking about table tennis, but it's very interesting what people bet on, and it's very interesting what people bet on in certain states. So, no, I find that fascinating about Colorado.
Well, all-time table tennis handle in Colorado, $592.58 million. Revenue of $42 million has come in.
Incredible.
Just from table tennis.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, a lot of other states do record table tennis numbers. They just report them as other. In a catch-all
okay. It falls
category.
under the other category. Okay.
And we're going to finish up state and national with our normal visit from New York. Mm-hmm. Got the week ending March 30th, which is also the beginning of fiscal year 2025-2026 for the state.
Okay.
5th consecutive week with at least $500 million in handle. 4th lowest gross gaming revenue in state history. They had a very, very bad week, the operators. Bettors had a great week.
Yeah. I think New York, I mean, what hurt New York, I think, is, especially with the college basketball, is the Johnnies got knocked out. So, I mean, prior to St. John's getting knocked out, it was all over the media and everyone was talking about it. And, they got knocked out, and maybe this is the result. I don't know if these numbers would be higher if they were still in the tournament, but who knows?
Unless you had a whole slew of people betting against the Johnnies, because the hold was down to almost like 2%.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, who knows? It's one of those. Well, they were knocked out, so they lost. Well, no, the hold would be better.
If people bet against the Johnnies, if they bet against St. John's,
I don't know.
They would win.
Yeah. I don't know what would. I know. I can't remember. See, the problem when you give these numbers and the dates and stuff like that, I'm trying to remember what was occurring in sports that week. I mean, I'm certainly that was the start of baseball season. A couple games in the end of March.
Yep.
So the Yankees were doing great. Everyone excited about the Mets in New York. So
Knicks had a downtime too.
Oh,
for a little bit,
yeah. So well, it just trying to remember back at what's going on that week.
DraftKings had their 5th consecutive week with at least $150 million in weekly handle, while FanDuel had their 30th consecutive week with at least $150 million handle. All-time handle for the state. This is just the mobile numbers, not the overall with the retail.
Now, this is from the beginning, or is that
mobile,
what you're talking?
The mobile industry.
Okay, and that was what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
When was that?
Just under $65 billion.
Wow.
Total handle.
Incredible.
Mobile only. Haven't done the retail. Gross gaming revenue $5.5 billion. Adjusted gaming revenue $2.69. Taxes $2.8 billion. Hold of about 8.3.
I wonder what we're going to see. Look, they're still talking about downstate casinos in New York. When we say downstate casinos, we mean New York City area casinos. So, and certainly you can't build a casino without a sports book. So I'm curious to see how. I know you're just talking mobile, but I'm curious to see how the overall numbers in New York, the sports betting numbers anyway, will be affected by sports books located in Manhattan, potentially. So that should be very interesting.
Well, we got a long time to wait for that.
Yeah, well, Atlantic City right now is holding its breath because it's they're not too crazy about New York City area casinos.
That's it for state and national reports. We're going to start talking deals right now. Starting off our deal segment, we have Penn Entertainment announcing a deal with the Major League Baseball Players Association, the union basically, making ESPN Bet in the U.S. and the Score Bet in Canada the official licensed sportsbooks of MLB Players, Inc., which is the business arm of the Players Association.
Okay, good.
Both ESPN Bet and the Score Bet will be able to use player names and likenesses on their platforms. Again, one team, which is the licensing arm of MLBPA and also MLB Players, Inc., that is the one that facilitated the deal. This follows what's been going on between Major League Baseball Players Association, some of the other platforms out there. They had lawsuits for NIL stuff. FanDuel settlement with MLBPA was in November, and then you have a non-exclusive one in October at the end of last year, with Fanatics to be the first officially licensed sportsbook of MLB Players, Inc.
Okay.
So everything is falling into place for NIL deals for the union.
You know, anytime you mention NIL deals, I immediately think of college sports, but it could. That term is applied to the pros too, so I have to remember that.
Well, a lot of people don't apply it to the pros, but it really is the same type of deals.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Moving over to Jackpot.com, one of our partners. Jackpot.com announced a strategic partnership with TelevisaUnivision.
Okay.
The world's leading Spanish-language media company, to become the official lottery courier and provider of lottery results across TelevisaUnivision's platforms.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So basically, all across, you'll see Univision, you'll see Televisa. Any of their platforms, you will see Jackpot being featured on the programming. So congratulations to Jackpot.com. That's
I just
one of
used
their bigger
them
deals.
Too. Yeah, I just used them too. I think when I got my last $2 Mega Millions through Jackpot.com. So it's sad to see Mega Millions go up to $5, but my last $2 tickets were through Jackpot.com. So
according to research, over 15 million Hispanics buy lottery tickets. That is the reason for moving into that market.
Great.
Moving over to Integrity Compliance 360, we basically almost every week have a deal featuring IC360.
They've been busy.
We now have a partnership between IC360 and the fantasy sports platform Sleeper. Yes.
Okay.
And they're going to be using Prohibet to enhance the security and integrity measures on the fantasy sports site.
Great.
Last deal of the week, we've got Hard Rock International and Seminole Gaming announcing a partnership with car rental company Sixt USA.
I saw this. How does this deal work out? I'm just curious. If you're staying at the Hard Rock International in, I guess, Florida, is this where it is? That's where it's at?
Well, it's mainly in Florida because that's where Sixt USA has its headquarters.
Oh, well, it could be in New Jersey. I'll be at the Hard Rock pretty soon, so maybe I'll look for it.
Here are the pieces.
Okay.
Sixt USA is now the official car rental partner of Hard Rock International and Seminole Gaming.
Okay.
And Unity members, their loyalty club members, will be able to get exclusive discounts at branches across the United States.
Perfect.
There's also a couple of Sixt USAs in some of the casinos that Seminole runs. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood will have a desk for Sixt USA.
I was going to ask that. If I'm at a Hard Rock, will I be able to see a...
Right now, just in Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in Florida.
Okay.
Hollywood.
See, that's great. That's convenient. One of the great things I always said about the Hard Rock here in Atlantic City, they have a gas station attached to the Hard Rock here,
and also a car wash.
So I love the fact that Hard Rock is doing this, especially with a rental company. I mean, it makes the resort experience complete because you don't have to go too many places when you're like vacationing at a Hard Rock. You got a car rental thing right there, and they have a deal with it, and you can get great deals with it. Good.
If they can do a deal with an airport somewhere too, that'd be everything: car rental, airports, and
do everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's it for the deals. We're going to start talking industry updates right after this.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
The convenience of taking classes where you want,
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
so you can become who you want.
South University Online.
Call 800-836-3936.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off the industry updates with a license announcement. We've got VIP Play Inc., which is Zen Sports.
Okay.
They are announcing the approval of its interim license in West Virginia for both sports wagering and iGaming in the state.
Yeah, you got to remember West Virginia has basically everything New Jersey has. I mean, they have online casinos, they have sports betting, they have, online poker, but I think that's waiting to get up and running and things like that. So basically everything is, there in West Virginia.
Well, this is following their recent announcement of their partnership with Delaware North's Wheeling Island Casino in the state. This actually is the first licensing for iGaming for VIP Play. They were just sports wagering in Tennessee, and now they are going to be offering iGaming to the West Virginia customers in coming months.
Because iGaming is the next big expansion, I think. Because, look, if you talk to any operator, they say, okay, yeah, the money's good with sports betting, but the money's overwhelming with online casinos. And the one thing here in New Jersey we see, like a DraftKings or a FanDuel or a BetMGM, their sports books have a access to their online casino in the state. So they work hand in hand, and I think that's going to be the next big expansion in the U.S. in gaming.
Well, speaking of expansion, we're seeing a pushback on an expansion here. We're moving over to Ohio. We've got the Ohio Casino Control Commission issuing cease and desist letters.
Here we go. More cease and desist. We just have a section called cease and desist.
Well, we've got 3 states right now.
Okay.
To go through. We've got Ohio issuing C&Ds to Kalshi, Robinhood, and Crypto.com, that site. They are the first state to issue cease and desist to all 3 of those operators for those sports event contracts.
Yeah.
And they are requiring them, or they're saying they need a license to operate. We'll see what the reaction is there. When Kalshi got the C&D from New Jersey and Nevada, they turned around and sued the states.
Well, this is going to go to court. That the courts are the ones that probably going to have to decide this issue, and the states will probably have to react accordingly. Who knows? The courts may say, yes, you basically are a sports betting operation regardless of what you call it, and you have to follow the rules of the state, or the court says, no, you fall into that loophole, you fall into that gray area, and then the states are going to have to react to make rules and regulations that they see fit. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out fight. Well,
Connecticut was first with the trio of cease and desist. Now we have Illinois following suit.
Okay.
Illinois Gaming Board has issued cease and desist to the same 3 operators.
Same 3 operators, huh?
Yep, second state to do so. I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of that coming down the road. Again, same reasoning, illegal gaming, all
which
that.
Which probably means more lawsuits.
Moving up to the state of Connecticut, or moving over to the state of Connecticut, the Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection is actually kind of following what Massachusetts has been doing with Robinhood. They're looking into Kalshi as securities violations.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens there. They are just starting the investigation. Again, everyone seems to be either going after Kalshi or Robinhood right off the bat.
And I think every state, the lawyers in each state are going to be looking at what the lawyers in the other states do. I mean, if someone comes up with an interesting argument, they'll probably jump on that argument and use it as well, and we'll see what happens. But each state is going to be watching the other state to see how they do and what the result is.
Well, moving over to happier times, we have going back to Illinois.
That doom and gloom.
Exactly. We're going back to Illinois. We've got Bally's Chicago Casino proudly welcoming its 2 millionth visitor.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Walked into the historic Bally's Chicago Medina Temple, which is still the temporary location until it becomes the permanent one.
I was
got
going
a
to
grand
say,
prize,
I mean,
1,000 in cash, 1,000 in community rewards, and a Chicago curated gift basket.
Yeah, I mean, they did this relatively quickly because I remember when they first opened, and what is it, the 2 millionth customer?
2 millionth
My
customer.
Goodness.
And everybody else got a T-shirt.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, look, it's Chicago.
Exactly.
It's a lot of people there.
Yes.
It's smack dab in the middle of Chicago, so a lot of foot traffic, a lot of traffic by it, and good for them.
Moving over to Indiana, we have Alt Sports Data receiving its permanent service provider license for the state. They had been operating under the temporary one. They were just finally issued it, the permanent one at the end of March.
Okay.
Going over to Nevada, we've got an interesting concept being developed here. We've got Penske Media Corporation, which owns Rolling Stone Magazine and Billboard Magazine. They are doing their due diligence in terms of possibly being able to work out a deal to offer a Rolling Stone branded hotel and casino in downtown Las Vegas.
That would be pretty cool. I would think they would be kind of like in the Hard Rock vein of casino, a lot of music, a lot of shows there. You're going to be able to gamble, but they're not putting all their eggs in the gambling basket and doing diversification, meaning a lot of shows, a lot of restaurants. So good for them.
Penske, which acquired the Rolling Stone brand back in 2022, has already said that if this acquisition goes through, the casino, the Rolling Stone Hotel and Casino, will be the new home for the Life is Beautiful Music and Art Festival, which is a big festival.
Didn't
for
I
Las
just say
Vegas.
that? There's going to be a lot of music there, a lot of art. I am assuming if they get up and going, they'll be decorated with all the different Rolling Stone covers throughout existence. So should be interesting.
Again, due diligence stage. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it goes.
Yep. Moving over to the state of Louisiana, we've got Live Casino Hotel Louisiana raking in $7.42 million in revenue within its first 16 days of operation,
Okay.
according to the Louisiana Gaming Control Board. They led for February in total admissions to the casino, almost 97,000 guests.
Wow.
In the first month of operation, followed by Bally's, Margaritaville, Horseshoe, Boomtown, and Samstown. All the different retail casinos that are out there.
Nice, yeah.
Moving over to the state of New Jersey, we've got Caesars Entertainment announcing the opening of its first branded live dealer studio inside one of its destinations in New Jersey.
Now, I'm going to have to visit Tropicana because I'm dying to see this. I think we saw the live dealer studios. I think it was in Golden Nugget, if I'm correct, right?
That was Evolution.
I know, but that was a long time. But that was the first live dealer studio. I wonder. My point is, people can see the live dealers because in Golden Nugget, it was, you park your car and you walk by this big glass where all the dealers were doing their thing on the cameras and stuff like that. I wonder if Tropicana has something like that where people can actually, when you're on the premises, watch the live dealers.
You will be able to do
you
that.
can?
Yes.
Okay, that's my question.
It's similar to what
Where's it
was
going to be, though? I don't know.
Tropicana 8 Atlantic City. They haven't said where it is yet. I have stills and everything else from the media assets and all that. So,
all right.
but we'll be covering that at another point.
Okay.
But congratulations. That's the second branded live dealer branded studios.
See, that's one more thing for me to find. Now I have a mission now when I go to Atlantic City, find the Tropicana live dealer. Before it was the Borgata roulette table that
they multi-cameras for the
the
online,
multi-cameras and stuff. Now it's Tropicana. I gotta go look.
You're
for
not
the
gonna be
live...
able to miss this.
Oh no, probably not. No, it's gonna be huge.
And last story of the week here, we've got Delaware North announcing the launch of its expanded and enhanced player rewards program, Lucky North Rewards.
Okay.
So a brand new gaming offers, new hotel stays, gifts, dining,
Great.
casino amenities, travel packages are going to be offered through the
Great.
Lucky North Rewards program. So congratulations, Delaware North, to their new loyalty program.
Okay.
That's it for industry updates. We're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're heading up to the state of New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Where lawmakers are moving forward with a plan to legalize video slot machines, hoping to generate additional state revenue.
You know, when you said you were going to talk about New Hampshire, I thought you were going to talk about the new, casino that opened. The interesting thing about New Hampshire, they have the charity casinos, right? And they're big in, historical horse racing machines.
Which is why they want slots.
Yeah, but no, I thought you were going to talk. I think it's called the Nash. I could be wrong, but I saw it on the news.
We did cover that two episodes ago in the book report.
I just didn't dream about it?
No.
Okay, you actually talked about it?
We talked about it, yeah.
What is it? The Nash.
It's
right over the Massachusetts border to...
it's in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's why it's the Nash.
Oh, Nash. Okay.
Yes. But
I was going to say, where is it at?
That took over an old office building. So
okay,
so
all
it's
right.
multi-levels.
So they love their historical horse racing.
Well,
up
they
there,
are trying
but it's I guess they're trying to get video slot machines.
Well, they want to change from historical horse racing to video slots because historical horse racing, which is a favorite of problem gambling supporters or proponents, problem gambling program proponents, there's a period of time before the machine resets, before you can do the next spin.
Oh, okay.
Slot machines do not have that.
Oh, okay.
Or not as long as a reset time.
Okay.
I
honestly didn't know that.
More spins, more money coming into the state. Historical horse racing machines do not allow them to have additional revenue because they're saying that slot tournaments and video lottery terminals can bring in approximately $65 million more a year.
I've never witnessed a slot tournament. I'm assuming it's just a whole bunch of people pushing buttons at a machine, right?
Well, in
nonstop excitement.
In general, I mean, historical
machines.
horse racing machines, no tournament. You just
I know. I mean, but
you can't use HHRs for a slot tournament.
Yeah, but I've never seen.
You could try.
I've never seen a slot tournament live. So I've seen pictures of it where people just sit on the things, and it goes to what you're saying. It's very quick between spins.
Exactly.
So.
Going over to the state of New York, we got New York State Senator John Liu introducing a bill to reclassify the parking lots around Citi Field from parkland to commercial use, which would be in support of the new Citi Field casino and entertainment complex being proposed by Steve Cohen over there.
Yep. Can you imagine the insane traffic that's going to... First off, any downstate, or what people should be calling it is New York City area casinos, I mean, the traffic is going to be ridiculous. There was one proposal about putting a casino near the UN, and now anyone who's been to New York when the UN is in session knows that traffic is ridiculous, and I can't even imagine a casino near the UN. But well, we'll see what happens.
Be interesting to see what happens if a casino near Citi Field. What happens when there's a game and the casino going at the same time? That'll be interesting traffic.
Oh yeah.
Last story of the week, we've got Illinois. We've got twin bills, one in the Senate, one in the House, being pushed to amend the state's criminal code to address video sweepstakes machines and video game terminals as illegal gambling machines, as well as prohibiting online sweeps casinos in the state. Another state moving forward against the sweepstakes casinos.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a huge issue in every state. So, we'll see how this goes in Illinois.
Yes. And now Illinois joins New Jersey, Mississippi, Maryland, Connecticut, New York, Nevada, Florida, and Arkansas as trying to prohibit sweepstakes casinos.
And I'm sure more states are coming.
More and more are coming, yes. Yep. Well, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. As always, if you've been watching on TV, there's a ticker flying by below us with additional news stories, domestic and international gaming stories, as well as conferences, food and entertainment stories as well. And when this show is released every Monday morning, we do a full print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button and you'll be taken there to a full print version. It has stories we talked about, some stories in the ticker, and stories we didn't have a chance to talk about anywhere else on the print version there. So please check that out. And as always, news, announcements, launches, licenses, more cease and desists. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Always happy to hear from everybody.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.
it.